Hello everyone, welcome to the Overlock Machine. We're going to go over everything you need to know from the absolute basics. So if you've never used this before, don't worry. This is an overlock machine. What it does is it cuts the fabric with this little blade right here. And these two needles create loops. It's a way to finish fabrics. So for example, the on button is right over here. Turn her on. This, you'll know it's on because this light will turn on. Place your fabric aligned with this edge right here and simply go. If your garment's at a 1/2 inch seam allowance, this is exactly where it needs to line up with. If it's at a 1/4 inch, obviously it'll be smaller. If it's at 1 inch, obviously it'll be bigger. And there you go. That's what it'll end up looking like. So how do we thread this monstrosity? It seems like a lot. Most of the machines will have a color-coded diagram on this side that you could follow. There's also a color-coded diagram underneath the undercarriage. So how do we thread this monstrosity? First, you gotta make sure the machine is off. Make sure the light is not on. Totally off. It could be dangerous if it's not off. So lift the table cover to reveal this side of the machine. Next, move this plate by pushing this lever down and sliding it out of the way. Next, push this lever back to lift the presser foot and move that out of the way. And finally, this guy, push it to the right and down to reveal the entire threading mechanism. So before you even begin threading this, if you notice that one of these cones is very low, you don't have to wait till the cone runs out before you change it. You could snip this thread. This is also for changing colors. It applies to color changing, and this is good practice so that you don't have to waste time threading it from scratch. You can see where the new thread connects to the old one. Just follow the thread all the way through and gently pull it so that the new color fishes all the way through. And you can see it going little by little. And be gentle with it, of course. Wiggle her out of the way. Okay, we can cut it here. On every sewing machine, on the right-hand side, there's this wheel that moves the needles up and down. Make sure the wheel is up as you're doing this, and it completes its final rotation of the loop. Once it's completed, all these 4 threads will slide. Similar to the single needle stitch machine that we have in the studio, these will just slide off. And see how this black one, the one that I snipped, is slowly creeping in to the space of the last one. And there it goes. Now that black thread is part of this threading process. Snip that. And now we're here. All right. So the overlock creates loops. And there's also other thread functions. There's this thread right here, that's a straight stitch, and there's also a thread right above it in the middle, that's also a straight stitch. From the back, they don't show. It's just the tiniest little pick, and then this one is the straight stitch, and then the loops look a little different. So what thread does what? The 2 needles right here are responsible for creating these 2 lines. These 2 parallel lines right here is what the needles secure. This guy, the little metal piece that hangs out, this is responsible for creating the loops. It goes in and out. Let me turn the hand wheel so you guys could see. It goes in and out to create that loop. It grabs these 2 threads, loops around them, and then this secures that loop. So, and this final thread down here the ones that are coming up through the bottom, they are another loop that links it to the loop ahead of it. So this guy is responsible for the top loops. The bottom guy is responsible for the bottom loops. So depending on what color you want on the bottom versus the top, you could customize that. If not, overlock threads are usually all the color of your garment. So if you have a black garment, they should all be black. If you have a red garment, they should all be red. You are responsible for getting your own threads from front to back through this little hole on the metal plate. Or actually from front to back. No, from back to front, from front. Back to front. Okay, I'm gonna speed this up, but just keep recording. I should add a "don't get discouraged" little text box. Don't get discouraged, you're almost there. Okay, here we go. So once it's secure from this side, pull it forward once again to reveal this hole right here. And then that will be the final step of the green thread. So bring this back forward. And then this one is from front to back, is what it is demonstrating on the diagram. So right here, front to back. And that's the green thread for you. And then once every thread is done, just make sure to fish it back so that it exits through right in between the needles. So even though it's done being pulled through all the holes, right here, it's not a complete loop. It won't complete the loop. So take the tail end of the thread and pull it back here. Make sure that nothing's stuck on its way out, and there. It's okay. It is open. I'm just gonna edit that. I'll edit to where I'm pulling it through. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Okay, and the green thread is now done. All right, moving on to the yellow. Both these threads are yellow, color coordinated, so just be cautious as to which yellow you are using. They have very similar functions, which is why they're next to each other and the same color. So follow more or less the same steps up here from top to bottom and then back to front through these guiding discs, guiding holes, and down. And then just copy what you did here, back to front, around, and then back to front once again. Through this. Around the side of the tension disc. Through the metal plates. And then into this hole. And then it shows on the diagram right here to put it through this hole. So that's what we're gonna do next. And here it comes. Okay, next is this little opening right here. And then after that is the opening right next to the green loop. Right about there. And then after that is this notch next to the screw that belongs right here. And we're done with this one.